Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at the Marvel Legends Gamerverse, The Punisher, and Nick Fury. I think it was a Capcom game, right? Are we at this point only doing Capcom Gamerverse things? I don't mind, Capcom stuff is great. And this 2-pack, pretty good. I think a lot of people were pretty excited for it. I think a lot of people liked the solicitation photos, although I know I saw at least a few people commenting on how goofy some of the things looked, and I have to say the figures do look better in person. Some of the solicitation photos made them look weird. They do look nice, mostly, overall. But it is a review, and we're going to talk about the good and the bad, so let's go ahead and get them off the stand and take a closer look. Alright, before we look at the figures, let me show you my package. It's a good package, I like it. Figures front and off-center, equally disproportionately placed. I like it, it's nice. Good coloring. Good pixel artwork here, good enough anyway, and yeah, it's nice. They're fun packages. The Gamerverse stuff is good. A lot of the Hasbro packaging lately that's not on the cards, surprisingly, I think is very nice. The card stuff doesn't really do anything for me if it's not actually retro. These are great though. I love these ones. Alright, so that's nice. I don't know, are any of you guys buying 2 of them so that you can actually display the boxes? Because I know some people were trying to say that was a thing for the Marvel vs. Capcom stuff, and technically it is, but is anybody actually doubling up just to use the boxes? I'm curious. Alright, so these guys are in stock at Big Bad Toy Store as of the time of filming. I'll put a link in the description below. Mr. Fury over here, he stands just over 6.5 inches. Be 6.5 to his head, a little more for his hair. We'll call it 16.5, and then a little more for his hair, and then Mr. Punisher, Mr. Castle, about the same, a touch shorter. He's at just shy of 16.5, plus some hair, and yeah, so it's just shy of 6.5. He's a little bit shorter by the tiniest of margins. Alright, and then here he is up against, that could just be the way they're posed too. What the heck? Here he is up against Darwin, so they are edging Darwin out by a little bit. It looks like he's in front, so he's actually a little bit shorter. Alright, so this guy we've seen before. This guy we've seen parts of him before. So I think this guy's one of the best looking bodies that they have right now. It's a really solid body. This one looks alright. The solicitation photos really emphasized how thin and weird the Marvel Legends look because they have no back at all. They're basically only as thick as their skinny arms. And so they get kind of weird looking in some poses, but in person they do look much better, and this is definitely one of their best sculpts by a mile. Only other thing that I'll note is a general thing before we get into it is this guy is only orange to my knowledge, and I could be wrong and I'm happy to be corrected. To my knowledge, he's only supposed to be wearing orange if you base it on the instruction booklet from the game. In game, he's brown and green. The orange is not his real color in the game, and it's, orange and green is a terrible combo, so I don't like that, but whatever. Alright, and this guy you could argue he should be darker or covered in shading, and I would agree with you, but it's fine regardless. But let's get into this one first. We'll go specifics. The head sculpts are basically their hyper-realistic type sculpts, which are pretty good. Yes, you can probably jam a cigar in there. I like to use packaging wire, the wire that action figures used to have on them all the time. Sometimes they do. Just cut that. That's usually the perfect size for a cigar for an action figure, but yeah, it looks like he's missing teeth though if you don't do that. But yeah, it is a little bit probably too realistic of a sculpt to go with their softer sculpt for the rest of the figure, but this one's not bad. The paintwork on the buckles really goes a long way. It helps the figure look nice. The wrinkles and stuff in the sculpt, pretty nice. None in the shoulders. I can allow it, I guess. The pants are spandex, clearly. And then he's got these kind of boots. It's a semi-World War II style Nick Fury, I suppose. And it looks definitely good enough. I think shading would really go a long way. If Hasbro could let loose of a few more pennies, their figures would look so much better. So much better. But other than I don't care for the specific look of his face and it's a little hyper-realistic, it's a solid-looking Marvel Legends figure. Now this guy, like I said, one of the best bodies easily that Hasbro's doing. It actually looks like a superhero. Amazing that that's not a common thing in a superhero line. But yeah, it's just a blank body with paint on it and straps, which is fine because they did a good job. It's basically the same Punisher as the one we got before. Looks good, no shading. The torso blue is definitely different than the other blue. It's not super noticeable on the front because of the straps. When you get back here, it's a little more obvious that this piece here is darker than this. It's not a huge deal breaker. Same thing down here, the hard plastic. This chunk right here is darker than the rest. So it's not ideal, but it's not terrible. Some shading would have gone a long way. Again, with the face, they did the hyper-realistic thing, which is technically good. It's not super realistic or super accurate to the source material for the game, but it's a good enough Punisher. That's fine. I happen to think this one looks better. I think it's a better sculpt overall. Maybe it's just the paint job. It does have a hint of Hugh Jackman in there, though, doesn't it? Tell me you don't see it. You have to see it. But yeah, it's technically executed pretty well. This guy kind of has a weird look to him, or this head kind of has a weird look to him, but still both technically really nice. I'd love to see this look more cartoonish and less like they're trying to make it a realistic portrait. I think that throws it off. If this was a little bit more stylized, this would be really, really good looking. I mean, the figure, not his attractiveness. But yeah, it still looks pretty good, and they do have a little bit of extra paint here and there. His buckles aren't painted on a lot of things because it is just supposed to be the blue and white. So yeah, they both look really nice. I'm very okay with this 2-pack so far. I think they could be better, but they're definitely good enough. For Marvel Legends, 8.5 out of 10. I think it's definitely sufficient. Now, as far as accessories go, obviously we already saw the Punisher's alternate head. They both have a decent enough spread of hands, though I think a secondary hand for holding a rifle would be good. We only have these giant claw hands, which aren't really that, and you can kind of force the trigger finger hands to do it, but it's not great, so could have a little bit more there. They both have the 2-finger point hand. I guess that might be a thing from the game, I don't know. If it's not, that's kind of weird. And then we get a bunch of accessories, so tons of accessories to deal with: a grenade, an explosion, a money box, a briefcase with money in it. And then some guns and a baseball bat. Now here's the thing about the guns and baseball bat. They don't look good. They are made out of a weird plastic. I can't tell if it's polypropylene or POM, but it's like a slick, softer plastic that almost has a translucent quality to it. And there's no paint on them. I don't even think you could get paint to stick on this. I bet you it would just pool up because of this weird plastic. I don't like this choice at all for plastic. And the thing is, they're not even rigid. They're more rigid than a soft PVC, but they're still super flexible. I don't know if that they'll warp under their own weight, but they are still flexible, but only the kind of flexible that means they'll flex and then snap. So if you're going to do that, I'd still go with PVC. It's a weird choice. They look super cheap. Really, really cheap looking. The plastic and not having any paint is a bad combo. So accessory-wise, I'm only going to go 7 out of 10. In quantity, it's great, but quality, not so much. Definitely don't care for it. Alright, now as far as articulation goes, we'll do Nick Fury first, because why not? Alright, he is on the... they just ditched the ball peg neck, huh? That's unfortunate, the double ball peg. So it works well enough for this antiquated joint, but it does limit you a ton. His harness is keyed into his chest. I guess that's alright, but it's keyed into his back. It's not glued, so you could remove it, but it is keyed in. I don't know what their deal is with making harnesses not removable. Not only would you get more use out of the body, but it'd be nice for the owners to be able to take the harness off if they wanted. The choices Hasbro makes is just weird. Are weird. Yeah, it's fine. The butterfly joint is minimal, but it's there. The shoulder works well enough. That's fine. Bicep swivel, double jointed elbow. It's pretty standard. He's not going to hit Spider-Man poses, as if Spider-Man can most of the time these days. But yeah, he's going to pose well enough. Still an ab crunch. It's actually a good ab crunch. I've been talking about how crappy they do ab crunches for a long time and how they can do and have done better. This is a pretty good one. It's hidden nicely by this, but it's a pretty flush ab crunch. He doesn't actually look pregnant. It works. Going forward, it's not as useful, not as good, but it still works. So as far as ab crunches go, that's a decent one. Waist twist is fine. Hips, this one's all encumbered over here, but the hips do work well enough for sure. Going forward, that pouch is really inconveniently placed. So is the strap. He's going to have some limitations, but it'll be all right. And then for the double jointed knee, they really needed to pinch the knee in on this leg sculpt. Vulcan, that's the guy's name. His name is Vulcan. I couldn't think of it. I'm pretty sure these are the Vulcan legs, and they have that really tubular look. Don't care for them. Boot swivel is fine. Ankles go back. Ankles, I don't really go that far forward. Ankle rocker. Yeah, it's fine. 7 out of 10 for him. And this guy... Mine came like this in the back in the package, so these pouches are all warped forward. A hairdryer will fix that, so we can just fix that later. We don't have to worry about that. But still not on the good neck joint. It'll do, but it does limit posability. Instead of being able to lean his head to the side, he has to turn it to the side like a weird cat pose. Not ideal. All right, butterfly joint is nice on this guy, and his straps do come off. That's nice. They peg in the back. Oh, his don't peg in? I thought they did. Guess not. Don't know why that's a thing normally, but whatever. Yeah, the shoulders work nicely on this guy. No real issues. Still kind of weird the way they're placed, but it's not as bad. Bicep swivel is fine. Double jointed elbow works for sure. Wrists have a swivel and a hinge. That's all pretty much standard. He has the diaphragm joint, which actually works pretty darn well. I like that. If that was paired with another ball peg down here, that would be great. But instead we got the ab crunch that doesn't do a whole lot. It leans back a little bit. It leans forward a little bit. Not a ton. And no waist twist. So Hasbro, if there's one thing you change ever, it's got to be this. Having this crunch without a waist twist just destroys the poseability. He can only rotate at the middle of his rib cage. That looks ridiculous. It's so specifically useful and not widely useful at all. Very unfortunate. For the legs, he goes up to almost horizontal. They don't go back too far out to the side. That's pretty nice. Thigh swivel is fine. Double jointed knee. Oh gosh, look at that. As I'm trying to bend the knee, the shin's coming apart. Double jointed knee works. We do have a boot swivel. Is he gonna... Yeah, I don't think he's gonna actually fall apart. It is stressing pretty bad though, so be careful. When you bend his legs, try to hold on to the part that you're bending rather than this part. And then the ankles work pretty well. They're alright. This piece is not painted well. I should have mentioned this earlier. This white, it seems even more yellow than this. It could be an optical illusion because this white is brighter, but that doesn't look good. This white is not nice here, but it's like that for the game. But the color of white is off. This is like an antique white. Everything else is kind of a cool white. Anyway, articulation gets a 7.5 or an 8, I guess, out of 10. It's better than most Marvel Legends, so that's nice. All right, time for the final verdict. Is this a great 2-pack? I don't know about great, but it's certainly good enough. Unfortunately, the pack-ins are kind of crap. With whatever that weird plastic is, they don't look good. Some of them are fine, but most of them look bad. The figures definitely look good enough by Marvel Legends standards. I think they stand out. They look pretty nice. I think they could look really nice if they had a little bit more paint on them and didn't look as much like bare plastic. But still pretty good overall. I'm going to give this 2-pack an 8 out of 10. As an overall thing, it's good enough. It's definitely better than most Marvel Legends these days, and it looks good enough. I can't imagine you're going to buy this and be super disappointed unless you've never owned a Marvel Legends figure before, in which case, run. Don't do it. No, I'm joking, but kind of. So yeah, it's good enough. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, but I'll be done there. So thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please do give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. And if you haven't subscribed, you should. I have new videos just about every single day and thousands already on the channel. So make sure you come back for all of that. And in the meantime, keep collecting.